Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. In this video, we're going to jump into a GTO spot and we're gonna try and play some hands and see how our decisions differ from the GTO line. We're playing the spot MP2 Open versus Big Blind Call. It's a tournament spot played on 50 Big Blind stacks. So let's jump right into it. Let's start new session. In our first hand, we've got Ace King of off, and there's a Jack 7 Queen Rainbow flop. Villain checks to us, so we're gonna bet 2. Okay, solver would prefer betting 5 here, 56% of the time, but betting 2 is fine, EV wise, pretty much the same, and 25% of the strategy. Now there's an ace on the turn, villain checks, and we're gonna continue betting. We're gonna bet 7. That's the ideal action, played 67% of the time. Villain calls, and there's another ace on the river. And should we just shove here? Should we bet less, 12, half pot, 3/4, or shove? I think we are shoving here. Actually, the solver would prefer betting 3/4 here, 79% of the time, but shoving is also fine, played 19% of the time. Cool. King Jack suited on a deuce ace, we're gonna bet 2. Or check, it's almost 50-50 here with the same EV. 6 of hearts on the turn means we're going to continue betting because we pick up the flush draw, and we're gonna bet 3/4 pot bet now. Okay, restarting the recording. So we bet 3/4 pot bet on the turn. That was the ideal action, played 91% of the time by the solver, and we actually hit our flush on the river, so we're just shoving here. And that is the solver's line, played 99.7% of the time, and it just so turns out that the villain's got the nuts. I mean, maybe not the nuts, but the nut flush, so that happens too. Ace Queen off on a 6 King 9, we're betting 2 here. Yeah. The villain calls, Jack on the turn. Now do we continue betting here or do we check? I think we check here. We should bet 3/4, 56% of the time, and check 19% of the time. Okay. Now we've hit our straight on the river, so we're going to overbet the pot. And again, this is a small EV loss, but just 5.5% of the strategy. The solver prefers betting 3/4 here, 87% of the time. So this should not be an overbet, just 3/4 pot bet. Queen Jack off on a 10 deuce king with 2 hearts, we're betting 2 or betting 5. Villain calls, we hit our queen on the turn, which also brings the flush draw. Do we continue betting here or do we check? I think we check here a lot. Yeah, we check here almost always. And a 3 of spades on the river. And do we call or do we fold? Our Queen Jack. I think we call here. Yeah, we call 64.5% of the time. We fold 35.5%. But we can see the EV is pretty similar, so. But the villain's got the nuts, so there's that. Pocket 9s on a 6-10-9. We're gonna bet 2. Okay, this is a bet 5. played 91% of the time. Bet 2 is fine EV-wise, but just 7% of the strategy. Pocket 3s on a 5-8 ace is a bet 2. Yeah, villain folds. 3-4 suited on a 9 queen ace is gonna be a bet 2 or a bet 5. We get called. 10 of hearts on the turn. I think we continue betting here with our hand. Yeah, overbet is also fine. We get called again. And 5 of clubs on the river. Do we give up on this hand or do we pull the trigger again? I think we bet half pot here. We should actually shove 99% of the time. Okay, so we pull the trigger here always because that's probably one of the worst hands that we can have. And betting half pot is a medium EV loss and just 0.23% of the strategy. Okay. Pocket 6s on a king, jack, queen. We're gonna bet 2. Bet 5 is the ideal action, but just 9.5% of the strategy. Villain folds. Jack 9 suited on a 10-4 ace. We're betting 2. Or betting 5, actually 73% of the time. Solver's betting 5 here. Villain folds. Jack 10 of hearts on an ace 3-7. We're betting 2. Yeah, villain folds. Ace 10 off on a 9-6 king. That could be a check. Nope, it's a bet 5, 31% of the time. Check, just at 10% of the time. So most of the time we're betting 2 here. 7 of clubs on the turn. Now villain leads for 2 BBs. I think we're calling here with our hand. Yeah, 58% of the time we should be. And another 6 on the river. Villain leads for a quarter pot bet again. Now do we raise it? Or do we fold? Interesting spot. I think we fold mostly. I want to raise also. But I think I'm gonna raise to 11. Okay, so it's a 50% fold and 50% raise. Or maybe not. It's a 50% fold, some percent call, and raising to pot is 11% of the strategy. Fine EV wise. And we get called by Jack 9. Pocket 6s on a 4 Jack ace. We're betting 2 or betting 5. Villain folds. Pocket 9s on a Jack 7 10. This could be a bet 5. Okay, it's a check 37% of the time, bet 5 32% of the time. So it's a even split between all 3 options almost. Ace 10 off on a Jack 6 deuce. We're betting 2. We're getting raised, so we're folding. Yep. 10-9 of spades on a 6-7 deuce. This could be a bet 5. It is. Villain folds. Ace 3 of diamonds on a queen 3-8. We're betting 2 or betting 5. Villain calls. 5 of hearts on the turn. We're gonna check, as we should. And 7 of spades on the river means we're checking behind. And we lose to a pair of fours. Ace 7 of spades on a jack 8-6. We're betting 2 or betting 5. Villain calls. We hit an ace on the turn, which also brings the club flush draw. I think this is an overbet, perhaps. Is this an overbet? Let's try and overbet it. Nope. Overbetting here is bad. It's a minus 1.35 BB of EV loss. We should just check here 96% of the time. Okay. So this is a clear check. Why do I want to overbet the pot here? Okay, queen jack off on a 7-9 ace. We're gonna bet 2 here. That's the ideal action. But the villain folds. Now we've got pocket sixes on a 5 queen king. We're betting 2 or betting 5. Villain calls. 9 of diamonds on the turn, and the villain leads for a third of the pot bet. I think we're just gonna fold our pocket sixes as we should. Queen jack of diamonds on a 5 deuce 9. We're gonna bet 2. We get raised, so we're gonna fold. Okay, this is actually a call. 99.8% of the time. Folding here is bad. Okay. You should just peel another card in a spot like that. Ace jack off on an 8 deuce 4 with 2 spades. We're gonna bet 2. The villain folds. Jack 10 of spades on a 6 queen 4. I think this is a bet 5. It's not, it's bet 2, 87% of the time. 5 of clubs on the turn. Do we continue betting? I think we're gonna check. We should check 71% of the time. And now there's a 9 of hearts on the river and the villain overbets the pot, so we're just gonna fold. We should 100%. Cool. Ace 5 of hearts on a deuce ace jack. We're betting 2 or betting 5. We get called. 8 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check. That's the ideal action, but played 40% of the time. And 4 of clubs on the river means we're gonna bet. But how much to bet? I think 3/4 or an overbet. I'm gonna try an overbet. Nope, it's a 3/4 pot bet. Played 82% of the time. Overbet is fine EV-wise, but just under 7% of the strategy. Villain folds. Ace king of hearts on a jack 4 queen. We're gonna bet 2 or bet 5. We get called. 6 of hearts on the turn. We're continuing betting and we're gonna bet 3/4 now. Okay, this is an overbet. 78% of the time. It should be an overbet. Good to know. 9 of hearts on the river. And are we betting 3/4 here or shoving? I think we're betting 3/4 here. And again, we're wrong with the sizing. We should just shove 87% of the time. Actually, betting 3/4 here is quite of an EV loss. It's minus 0.85 of BBs, and it's a 9% play. Okay. King jack off on a deuce 8 queen. We're gonna bet 2. We get raised, and we're folding. Yeah, Okay, we've played our 25 hands for the day. It went quite quickly. Let's see the results. Yeah, the results again, not great, but not bad either. Our frequencies have been quite on point. Just those couple of spots that we made some mistakes, as in with here betting 3/4 instead of shoving. Here, yeah, betting instead of checking. And also here we had a spot where we were supposed to just check behind and we bet. But other than that, yeah, that was a good session. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed this long, just leave a comment, GTO, or ask any question you might have. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up. Check out the playlists that are linked in the description of this video. There you can find the spots that we've played previously, the sessions that we've played previously with different spot or with this one. We're playing all kinds of different spots. We're doing 500 hands of each, and the goal is always to minimize the EV loss. And so far we've been able to minimize the EV loss on each successful spot. So yeah, that's going good. We're learning. So stay tuned for another video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.